Alright everybody, with a 100 series John Deere lawnmower tractor, you need to replace the drive belt for the blade. This is going to be the video for you with simple hand tools. I'm pretty sure in my case the belt has just come loose, but it is worn, it's old, it's stretched out. I'm just going to go ahead and replace it. You could hop up under here, lower it to the lowest setting. There's 3 10mm on this cover. On the other side there's 2 10mm. Remove these covers, snake it back on the belt properly where it should be. Just look up the belt diagram or stay tuned later in this video and pop these covers back on. You'll be off to the races. But for me, fuck it. Let's just replace the entire belt. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is lower the deck all the way down to give yourself some room to get up in here. And there's going to be one attachment point right here. You remove that cotton pin. And on the other end, that's another point of attachment. All you have to do is remove those two. There's another right there. You remove that cotter pin. Same on the other side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 points of attachment. Just remove those pins. And finally, up front, towards the front of the mower, right here, this little metal arm is going to go through this bracket extended from the deck up front center. Just remove that pin. So there are 5 points of attachment in total. So let me just get started on the back points right around here. Now what I like to do, I just take some pliers or whatever you have handy. Pop it out like that. It might still fight with you. At which point you can just try to persuade it out of there. Alright, that's one out. Just repeat this on the other side. Go. And again, that was 2 out of 5 points of attachment. So 1 here, 1 on the other side. Now on each side, follow this black bar up here. There's going to be 1 cotter pin right here, and again on the other side 1. Just go ahead and remove both of those. And on both sides, you can take your foot or something, prop the deck up, and once these cotter pins are out, this just simply comes off. You can leave it in right here. Same deal for the black bars, these little brackets. You can just pull it, just drop it in place, both sides, and then we're going to move up to the front. Alright, all those are out. Now let's move up here. Easy. I would strongly encourage you guys to take $5 or $10, whatever it is. Go to O'Reilly's, AutoZone, Napa, whatever. Get R clips. You don't want regular cotton pins, get R clips. They're called R clips because, well, they look like an R. Get a kit that have the thick ones. Replace all these because, I don't know if you could tell, I cut it out. I made it look pretty quick like, but these were a pain to get out. All except that front one, which is brand new. But yeah, so once you pull that one out, you can just take this bar, take your thumbs, or if it's stuck, you can just beat it with something, like everything else in this video, and boom. So the deck is almost free to come out. There's only one other thing that's kind of holding it in. If you're on the, I guess, the driver's side, the left side facing front, you follow this cable here. Let's get this black bar out of the way. You're going to follow this cable here, and this, there's going to be a spring. I don't know if you can see it well, but it just goes like this and just kind of hooks into place in this tiny hole right here. So you can literally just manpower this shit and just grab it, take it out, and just make a note to yourself how this is routed. It goes in right here. Let's see, we can pull this. You should be able to pull this back. Easier said with one hand, but well, with two hands. What you're going to want to do is pull back with this, relieve pressure, and with the other hand pop this out of this grommet right here. Do it a few times, it is easier than it looks, I swear. But yeah, it's gonna go under everything. This spring goes under the belt. When you put this back, it goes under the belt, under this little torsion bar right here, so it just goes flat under everything. And it hooks right here. This little drilled hole closest to this pulley. Alright, so you can literally, like I said, just take it out. Just make a mental note. So what I'm basically saying is, don't take this out, try to put it back in later and put it all over at the top, under here, above the belt, under the bracket. It just goes around here. And it just goes flat under everything and hooks right here. So with that out of the way, you can just take this spring, set it somewhere to the side. Let's see if I can hook it somewhere up here. That'd be nice if I could. There we go. So what I do is I just hook it right there. Get it out the way, and you are well and clear to pull this deck straight out. Or not. I lied. If your belt isn't broken, chances are it is still on the frontmost pulley, so you just come under, look at the front, you can just see this bar right here. You can just lift the belt up and over. You can do that on both sides. And now nothing is caught on anything. You can pull the deck straight out and get down to business. Wada boom. So what I like to do at this point, I'll take a leaf blower, blow everything, you know, free and clear, just for my own sanity. Just makes me feel better. And after the fact, what we're going to want to do, I got the order wrong. There's two 10mm on this side, and there's 3 on this side. So you'll just take those off. Quick note about the routing of the belt on a 100 series 42-inch blade, deck. It's just literally flat bottom, under, front, under, round, flat bottom, just like that. So the actual issue on mine is somehow, for whatever reason, this one came loose from inside of this little keeper right here. So if I really wanted to, I could just take this pulley off and just put this back in here properly and just be done. But why not? Right, and to get the belt inside here, obviously this little keeper tab is in the way. Same thing goes for right here. So to remove these pulleys, it is a 16mm. So I found you can usually just brute force it as long as it's not too tight. But if it's too tight and you're trying to take this off, it's gonna naturally want to go this way. And if it's really tight, well, it's usually best to get an impact. But I did say I was going to do this with hand tools. What I've done in the past, if this is just too tight and this whole thing just wants to keep going this way and flex, potentially bend, just get yourself a block of wood, just wedge it in here. That way this has limited movement. You can just put as much pressure as you want. And yeah. Now the only other thing, this one might want to just spin and rotate, but let's see. Let's try this together. No, it did not. But what I would suggest for this is a oil filter, a rubber style wrench, or a chain wrench. Or again, you could try a block of wood, a screwdriver, just wedge it in here to keep this from spinning. But in my case, it's coming off nice and easy. Same for this. So just take these bolts off right here. Give these a good wiggle. They'll pop right off. And you'll pop this belt properly into place behind this tab right here. Behind this tab right here. Alright, as y'all can see, I got the belt on, or at least in my case, the new belt. So like I said, it's going to be loose on these two main pulleys regardless, because you know it's not on the front pulley to take up the slack. But again, just a recap, just straight line, outer perimeter on the bottom two, over, under, and same thing on this side, over, under, and then front pulley. Very simple. So only thing left is to put these plastic covers back on. If you guys don't have those, by the way, you should order some. They actually do serve a purpose. They do partially keep the belt on if there's, you know, too much slack. So it kind of just guides the belt a little bit. So put these back on. We're going to scoot this under. We're going to get this in place on that front pulley. Again, you can just literally just put it on around those two little keepers from the start of this. And we will reconnect that cable, if you guys recall. And after that, it is just a matter of those 5 attachment points. That front one, two sides, and believe it or not, that is it. Alright, once you've got those two plastic housings back on, final disclaimer, this side has 3, the other side has 2 bolts, 2 10mm. The best way, once you get it slid back under, make sure this cable here stays clear. You don't snag it on anything. Just get it under as best you can, as even as you can. And the best way to make sure everything lines up properly, just start with these in the back. And this is probably a 2-hand job, but literally all you're going to do is just prop your foot up under the deck so you can pick this whole thing up, and just put this on this tab right here, just as it was in the beginning. Same thing for the other side. That is going to ensure at least that the back is properly in position. Everything's going to line up a little better. Alright, so I've got the other side on just as I do this side. Both of these are in the same orientation facing the back. Also pick it up and put this bar on this side as well as the other side. And this is one of the last steps, the front. You may have to use both hands to get this to just literally pull it forward. Sorry. To pull this forward so this will work. This has to swing forward a little bit. So just pull this forward, and it's going to go in the first hole right here. And after that, just put cotter pins back in all 5 locations and make sure that that cable is connected properly just the way it was. It's routed along the bottom. It's just a little spring divot that just kind of hooks inside in place on that plate I showed you earlier. And that is it. Alright, so final checklist just to make sure everything's done correctly. 1 attachment point this side, 2 on the other side. Black metal arm, attached, secured. So that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the front is in with a cotter pin. Remember to connect the serpentine belt to the front pulley, just snaking around those 2 little J-hooks. That's really all there is to it. The belt is meant to have a little slack in it as long as the drive isn't engaged, like the mower blades aren't engaged up top. And the only thing you could probably forget to do, I've been guilty of it, is this cable. Snaking around the outside. I like to leave it unhooked and just put it in by hand. It goes under the belt, under this bar. Just that way it's just really loose, flexible. You can take it wherever you want, easy peasy. You don't got to fight with it. Just take it by hand and hook it in right there. And once it's hooked in, you'll take this, pull it back, and just insert it right through here. That's the easiest way to do it. And last but not least, remember, grab yourself some beer and a nice cheesy hat and have fun.